Greetings and salutations. This is Featherhoof and CarnagePanda, two bald men bringing you some animes.
What? You're not bald yet. He's all self-conscious because he's got one little bald spot on the, a quarter-sized bald spot on top of his head.
I'm actually not self-conscious. I don't even think about it.
You do now. Just imagine it getting bigger and bigger over time. Every time you brush your hair, you'll look at the brush and see more hairs there on the brush.
No.
Yeah, it'll happen.
First off, I don't even brush my hair.
Good point. But you know what we do? We watch anime.
Yes, we do watch animes.
where I think we're starting to narrow down where we're going to be this summer.
Are we?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I don't believe you.
There's still two other anime we haven't watched. One because somebody forgot to give us the ability to do so, and the other because it
was an honest mistake.
And the other because it still hasn't aired. So we still have to check out.
We're just dropping that one.
Oh, are we? Okay. Yeah. That was Rem, wasn't it?
That was Bim.
Bim.
the very interesting show. It says it in the synopsis that it's very interesting, and that we're going to be very interested in it.
MyAnimeList.net or whatever?
No, LiveChart.
LiveChart.
It's the same thing. They just take the studio synopsis.
Yeah, the LiveChart's the synopsis had to tell us about, instead of really giving us a breakdown of what Bim was about, it was like, it's very interesting, and the characters are very interesting with a very interesting story.
Yeah, so it has such a delayed first episode in the season that we're just gonna ignore it.
Which is depressing, because I actually was kind of interested because it was interesting. But
how do you even know that?
Because the synopsis told me so.
You know what? I'm just going home now, and I'm gonna play Bloodstain. I'm done with this.
And the other one was what was the other one?
Oh yeah, that Gabriel Dropout clone. The what's it called? The Demon Girl Next Door.
I think we're still gonna try and check that one out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not for this week. This week we only have one new entry that's replaced Granbelm, but
Replaced? Oh, bye. It's through no fault of Granbelm's.
Well, let's put it this way. It's replaced Fire Force.
It's replaced Fire Force. I thought Dr. Stone replaced Fire Force.
No, Dr. Stone was always going to be there. And Granbelm, I think, is just, I think we would have watched it.
I don't think it's any of its fault. But
no, it's just, we have to narrow it down to 5.
Was pretty interesting. More interesting than Bim.
Well, we don't know. We've never seen it. Remember, the synopsis said how interesting it was. It could have been better.
Could have been the most interesting show in the season.
But
or year.
We'll never know. Because we have the 5 anime that we watched this week, and we're going to talk about those coming right up. Coming up first, in no particular order, other than alphabetical, because we didn't really feel right ranking them this week, because they all were fairly interesting in their own right, was Astra, Lost in Space, where we're continuing the story of the 9 children lost in space on a ship that they found after being sucked by a black hole, just random black holes that just terrorize children for reasons. As we find out in this episode.
Seems plausible.
Oh yeah, the sentient black holes that terrorize children? Makes sense to me. So, I guess 3 days have passed. They made it to the first planet Vilverus or something like that.
Vilverus or...
We'll call it Planet V. And they are now trying to survive. That's kind of cool. You see them, in their own wacky ways. They, their group dynamic, figure out who's going to do what, and how to figure out like what's edible and what's not. Like, what was some of his like guidelines? It's like I can't remember.
I don't understand why he was doing it, because the other blonde kid said, "I'm great with biology," and they just like. Kanata's like, yeah, I got this, man, and biology kid's like, I don't know what to do then.
He's all like, this is probably a good, a fairly safe bet, and that's a fairly safe bet. Fungus and things that are red, you should probably stay away from, because they're most likely poisonous, and all these other weird little rules, some of which I've never heard of before, but doesn't mean they're not real, it's just I've never heard of them. But then Kiterie, the blonde-haired, the one we referred to as the bitch last episode, is like, I'm not doing anything dangerous. Meh.
I feel like I'm watching a reality show like Big Brother or Master Chef or something.
Oh god, now that you say this, what if this is that? What if they're actually video recording these kids?
They already covered that in last episode. I don't think it's the...
I know, but
maybe
still...
it is, I don't know, but...
They have no proof, they just sort of was like... Kanata came up with some...
This is incredibly unethical, and they probably have a strong case for a lawsuit to sue these people and rob the company of billions of dollars and put them out of business. If that's the case, because they didn't even get them to sign a contract or anything that they were in this show. So
I don't know.
Having a TV show, I think this is a real legal liability.
Maybe. So they're on this planet V, and they have to forage for foods. And apparently, Kiteria is all freaked out. Well, actually, a lot of them are all freaked out because of these flying, natural habitant, natural fauna, some kind of like flying dirt dragon looking thing. They refer to as the Turgans.
Yeah,
because
let's go back to the reality show because Kiteria, I guess she's French or something. She's a real bitch, and she just reminds me, like, every single one of these shows, these reality shows where they vote them off the island or whatever, they always have that one character because
he's an asshole.
I don't believe any of these people are putting their real personalities out there.
Nah.
They always have this one person that's an asshole, and you're like, yeah, they got to get rid of that person.
But yet, for some reason, they hang on for like most of the season, if not all of it, because they know that person gets ratings.
Yeah, that person gets the ratings.
Yep.
They're like, if we don't have this person, there's no drama and no forced conflict in this story.
Yep. Well, this is a very Kiteria heavy episode. It focuses a lot on her. Like, the other characters are there, and they all do their little thing. With Arias just scaring the shit out of Emo Chick for no fucking reason. Just to see how loud she could talk.
She's the loopy one.
And I still maintain she's the main character, because she does like the Captain Picard style, Captain's log, star date, blah, blah, blah.
I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have this whole survival story where Kiteria goes off and it starts doing her bitch thing, and then she's like, you're not even my real sister, little sister.
Oh, yeah, she's a...
And fuck you.
Well, that's like later in the episode, though.
And then she doesn't even say that anybody's cool. She's just like, fuck everybody.
Yeah, she is a hardcore, total bitch. But I mean, it's funny because it's like they go to like the lengths to show that she's the asshole, and then it's like just seconds later, boom! It's like, allow me to give you her entire backstory and why she's an asshole.
As if I was gonna build any empathy off of that.
It's like, well, I mean, I sort of did. I'll be honest, I sort of did. Yes, she's a spoiled rich kid. I get that, and it's hard to have empathy for the spoiled rich kid, but.
Her backstory is she's rich, therefore she's a bitch.
No, her backstory is she's rich and rich with no dad, and her mother is completely out of her life. She ignores her entirely.
Well, I wonder why.
Because she's a doctor?
No, because her daughter's a bitch.
No, I think the story they were trying to weave there is she became a bitch because her parents didn't give two... Well, we don't know about the dad. The dad died, but, her mother didn't give two shits about her.
I don't know about this justification, man.
And she was raised by servants who were paid to do whatever she told them to do. So she grew up to be a spoiled rich brat.
Yes, but her little sister loves her. She's like, oh, you're the best person in the world. I love you so much. You can do her no wrong. Even though she's doing tons of wrong things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, even in the flashback, it showed Kiteria, she's like, she's like, wait, you don't even pay attention to me, and you adopted this chick who was was the friend of, the daughter of your friend who died. The fuck, why would you play her?
She's very unfortunate, so I'm adopting her. That's all there is to this. And then she walked off.
Yeah, she's like, and by the way, take care of her. Bye.
I have a commanding presence, and I've got to go operate on somebody that's not you.
Yeah, it's. I can sort of empathize with the story. It's a cliched story. It's been told a million times, but I mean, it's one that works. It's an interesting little story.
Well, at that point, I was so ready for them to vote her off the island and just leave her on Planet V. Take off, and she'd be like, but I wanted to go home.
Well, we hear that from her like 5 times throughout this episode. I just want to go home. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you and everyone else there.
Yeah, everybody wants to go home, but you know that there's like a 3-month wait.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot going on. I love that they put the male and female Sasuke's together to go collect the water.
Yeah.
Just like sit there with a hose and say nothing.
Yeah, so they hired voice actors for these 2 characters.
Yeah.
And since last episode, they've said nothing.
Well, Yuna had one line, and it was, "Ah!" But that was about it.
I guess the dude, the actual male Sasuke, didn't have any reaction or any emoted lines or anything at all.
I love that scene because, audience, when she scares, was it Yona or something like that her name was? Or Yana? Or starts with Y. Yunhwa. She scares her, and she thinks she's just doing this little thing between the 2 of them, forgetting entirely that they're all hooked up to communications together. So it scares the shit out of fucking everybody.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Now, I also think that the backgrounds of this show look amazing.
They do. They absolutely do. I mean, they're no, like you said before, they're no Iraduku. But
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't think it. Did they
Iraduku didn't have some wild forest.
Yeah, but Iraduku had faucets and cobblestone paths.
It did have the most amazing faucets in the world.
Mm-hmm. So, this episode is like it sort of serves 2 purposes. The first one is a backstory on Kiterie and her. So she gets 1 episode for a backstory. Villainy and redemption arc all in 1 episode. Her whole arc is in 1 episode. And the secondary story of Kanata proving why he should be the captain.
Yeah, he's a true leader of leadering, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you should all follow me because I am leader of leaders. So they are foraging and they have fun. I'm guessing we were debating this last episode about Luca, whether Luca was a boy or girl, and it is very androgynous because it's like I could have sworn they said she during the first episode at some point, but then they refer to Luca as a boy in this episode. So I'm a little confused.
I will not be surprised if next episode they say he or she
Luca
is a girl and confuse the fuck out of everybody. But I have my suspicions it was a boy because, like I said last episode, every girl in the ending credits they do an ass shot on her.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Luca is drawn very androgynous. So I mean,
is it a man or a woman? We'll never know.
Let's just say Luca is Luca.
Luca
is Luca. Just like Sasuke is Sasuke, Luca is Luca. Sasuke is a character type now. Then this Luca is just Luca.
Instead of being like heterosexual or homosexual, he's Sasuke sexual.
And instead of like I identify as a man, I identify as a woman, I identify as Luca.
I identify as a Sasuke.
There we go.
Itachi killed my family, damn it.
And it's funny because how many times that actually happens. We had it in Naruto, and then we had it in Dororo. Don't have your show end in an O, because then all of a sudden someone, Itachi will kill your family.
Anytime somebody named Itachi shows up,
yeah,
because Itachi is the Japanese word for weasel, and
is it?
Yes, and
okay.
you can't. You're not going to name a character Itachi.
Okay. Anyway,
it'd be like, so they're in the forest and
they set up a lot of
stuff.
They set up a lot of things. It's like if you know how the structure of episodes go, it's like, oh, we discovered this bouncy tree, and oh, these parachute plants. Huh, I wonder if those will come into being useful information later in this episode. Huh, I wonder.
Yeah, so while they're out gathering stuff and the Sasuke's are being quiet while the ship sucks up water, they get attacked by the black hole again. Very intense.
Oh yes! The black hole Chan shows up and is like, come closer. What's over there? Nothing. Just come right over here. Just come here. Come closer. Why? Let me look at it. He's like, boo! Black hole.
And they're like, oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here by running in a straight line.
Again. But then we realize what Arya's special ability is. She has a photographic memory. Even though in the first episode she can't remember people's names or basically anything.
This time, however, they outrun the black hole.
Because
Drama averted.
She remembered the exact look of one tree in a forest of alien trees and said, if we turn left here, it will take us out of the clearing back to the ship.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief straining. Suspension of disbelief straining.
And then there's the other story arc about Kitira's redemption.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't really do anything but release the balloon plants.
Well,
the parachute plants, I guess.
Yeah, because it's like she when they get back after they collected all their fruits and whatnot, she's all like, it's like, you suck and fuck you and I want to go home and you're not my real sister. Ah! And then runs away.
And then her real sister gets on top of one of the vor trees.
They're not vor, they're like spring trees.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna vor her at first, but then it just brings her really high in the air.
Yeah, because they're all like,
I guess it's a retractable tree that goes up for sunlight.
Oh, and after that little fight, after Kitiri's all yelling at them, Conus is like, well, I'll go catch one of those Turgons so we can eat it, and then you'll have to recognize me as a real captain. And runs away. He runs away too.
And long story short, Kanata rescues... I can't remember her name. Just the little sister of
I know
Kitira.
it starts with an F. That's all I remember.
Oh yeah, like Philo-chan.
Yeah. It's like the tree grows really tall, and they randomly find and climb a cliff that's as tall as the tree that grew.
Yeah, so this is where we learn that Kanata is a deca athlete and can...
Did you just say deca athlete?
Yes.
You mean
decathlete?
A decathlete?
Something like that.
No, it's decathlete.
Athlete?
Yes. Fool.
Deca athlete.
He's 10 athletes?
Yes, he is 10 of them by himself.
Well, he must be.
That's why he has after images when he jumps.
He just because he has. I'll be perfectly honest. In my opinion, he has the stupidest. His dead sensei taught him the stupidest mantra ever. When everything looks hopeless, act tough.
I don't disagree with him.
I don't know. That sounds stupid.
If you're gonna be the leader and you start showing signs of like no confidence or anything, that's gonna affect the other people behind you.
But without even thinking,
and they're all gonna lose faith.
Without even thinking,
Kitira is gonna become a bitch again.
Without even thinking, he just goes, "I'll leap from this cliff to this thing that I may or may not be able to jump to."
Apparently, he has great athletic skills, but no constitution to go with it, so he wears himself out after 2 jumps.
I love it because like the Spock, the dude, I was call him Spock, the gray-haired guy, because I can't remember his name. He's which apparently he was one of Kitari's servants. Because whenever she said
I don't think he was a servant because he faded out after the maids came in. I think he was just
no,
being there
no, because when it showed his mother, it showed her mother, and then she faded out and said, and he's like, but she was raised by her servants, and then she panned over and showed servants. It showed 2 adults, a butler, a maid, and then a little kid, a white-haired guy.
No, they showed him first, and then he faded out.
No,
I'm right. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Fuck you.
That's not very
anyway,
nice.
But it's like, yeah, he's like, oh, he wore himself out after all those consecutive jumps. 2. Granted, it would wear me out, but I have no. I'm out of shape, beyond out of shape. So,
I think it's a tall order to demand that you jump. He's a teenager too. So.
Yeah. So he makes the 3rd one, gets to. Oh no, he's after the 2nd one, he just fine. Like Luca had this stick that was in the shape of a spear. She called it the Luca spear that she left on one of the trees, and he just happenstance is like, oh, it's that exact tree with the spear on it. This. The Turgans their vital organs must be in their ass because he chucks it.
Yeah, he throws his javelin. It impales the dragon, and then the dragon's like, "Oh, I'm dead."
It impales maybe 3 inches. Like it barely goes in its rump, and it's like that episode of Shield Hero where the bad guys were pretending to get
they're pretending to be.
Yeah. Ah.
Only, unfortunately for our dragon, it's actually he had to have hit a vital organ.
Yeah,
he hit the heart or the brain. I don't know.
Or both at the same time, because it instantly dies.
Yeah, it gets like 2 feet off, and it's like, oh damn. boom, and drops the little girl, and everything's fine, everything's good, and they have dragon meat.
So then, Kanata's gonna like jump over to her to save her, and that's when he loses his balance.
He gets in the center of the tree.
Yeah.
And loses his balance and stumbles back off of the tree.
Yeah, I get sense of suspension of disbelief, straining some more.
But he is saved by Kitiere
and the parachute plants.
The parachute plant.
Yep.
And they all have a makeup session.
Yep. I just think this thing, like, Kanata's all like, I can't be captain, you're right, because I make impulsive decisions and, without even consulting the group and blah, blah, blah. It should totally be, what's this kid's name? Like, so, it's like a weird fucking, like, shape.
Chars?
Yeah, Chars, yeah.
Yeah.
It should totally be Chars.
The biology kid.
And they're all like, and just like, no.
It's you, Kanata.
Chars is like, I'll be your second in command, but you're captain now. We're all in agreement. Yeah. So they go back and find that Anime Spock has just put together, out of scrap parts he found around the ship, put together a thing that would test whether something was edible or not.
The tasty meter. Tastometer?
I'll go tastometer. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, so he crafts a taste...
Suspension of disbelief at breaking point!
It's a device that he can stab into some food, and it tells you whether it's tasty or not.
And if it is, it will say in his voice, "Yummy!"
Yummy!
And then Arias finds this so amusing that she does the Titus laugh.
Yeah. Dear Diary, today I laugh like Titus. Ha 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 ha!
But then there's a mystery. Ooh, the mystery. There's Anime Spock pulls Kanata over. He's like, "Hey, see this stuff here? These wires and these chips and stuff? Our communications were deliberately sabotaged." He's like, "Oh man, that sucks. What the fuck?" I wonder, like, no, you don't understand. They weren't just sabotaged. It was done recently. It's like,
yeah, so
one of us.
He's
did
like,
it.
there's a traitor, but was that chip missing?
I don't know.
Because I think it looked like it. And
well, yeah, because he said it was cut out. He's like, it was
cut out.
Yeah, that's
there's no way that was cut out.
That's what he said.
That looks like somebody went in there, desoldered all the joints, and there's no way he got. Oh man,
unless it was a surface mount part and he just had to rip out the pads.
No man, no way.
If he cut the leads and then there's nothing else holding those pads on a surface mount part.
I think I need to get a picture of that.
Okay.
I feel like this is debatable because I feel like whoever did this had to have some electronics knowledge.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, I mean, yeah.
The only guy I can think of that has that sort of knowledge right now is
Anime Spock.
Anime Spock.
We don't know. What was that? The emo chick's name? Yunhua. We don't know what she's good at yet. And my
bet is that she didn't introduce herself and tell people what she's good at.
Because she's a plant.
She is a serial killer.
That too.
And you don't want to make, like, her first impression could not be, yeah, I'm good at killing people, dismembering them and stuffing their body parts in my closet. Everybody would be like, okay, we got to put her in a cage.
So that was episode 2 of Astra. I like it. I like the way that
There are two traitors. Yunhua and whoever took the chip out.
If I had to say anything about the show, let's start with the negatives. And this is me nitpicking a little bit. This episode we had Kiterie's, backstory, villainy, and redemption arc all in one episode. It's like, wow, that was rushed.
Wait till we get to the beach episode.
There will be an episode where they get to a planet and it's like, oh, this looks just like a hot springs, and they're gonna, suddenly have bathing suits. But yeah, that's really the only thing I have to nitpick about it. Like, so far, I'm actually interested. Like, I don't
have any nitpicks yet.
Okay, so that's how we felt about Astra Lost in Space. A really good show so far. 2 episodes in, really loving it. But we'll see what happens. Until then, let's move right along to the next anime episode thing we watched. My tongue decided not to work there.
Bad Featherhoof.
Yeah.
So for the second episode, we watched second show.
Mm-hmm.
It has a really long title because it's from a light novel.
Yeah.
I'm just going to refer to it as MILF Isekai.
I was going to say Mommy Isekai, but I mean, the full title is Do You
Love Your Mom and Her Two-Hit Multi-Target Attacks? I think this is a terrible name.
That is a horrible title. And it's even, I mean, seriously, that's Do You Love Your Mom and Her Two-Hit Multi-Target Attacks. That's 15 syllables. When we read it in Japanese, there's like 45 fucking syllables in that son of a bitch. It goes on for fucking ever.
What? It's probably 2 symbols.
Probably, yeah. Actually, no, because we saw it on screen during the credits. Not the credits,
yeah.
The midway points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's like goes 4 lines, 4 or 5 lines.
You're exactly right. I don't like the title of this show, so I'm just gonna truncate it for further episodes if I get it.
From here on out, we will be referring to this as either MILF Isekai or Mommy Isekai, depending on which person gets the episode that week. But please, tell us about this, because two seasons in a row, I think I'm interested in an Isekai.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Konosuba.
Yes.
We have a very dickish male.
Jesus Christ!
Main character.
What was it? Masato?
Yeah, Masato.
Masato? I literally want to go through my television screen and punch this kid.
Like, he's not a funny dick like Kazuma is.
No, or even an empathetic dick like Naofumi was in Shield Hero.
He's just like, God damn it, my mom's in this world with me and this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mom.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say I hate the mother, I'm just confused by her. She's like the super doting, super, like the kind of mother who doesn't want their child to ever leave the nest, ever.
I think she's like a helicopter parent or something.
Yeah. I mean, she gives her son these cute little nicknames. She dotes on him. No matter how much of a dick he is towards her, she is sort of like, overlooks it. It's like that, and
well, this is my theory, and I think I think I'm correct.
All right,
is that this entire scenario is an elaborate scheme by his mother to get him hooked up with a chick and marry her.
Maybe.
And so
all it knows is that
she's going to be that doting mother, and she loves her son without question. And all of these girls that are going to possibly join the party.
Oh, shut up! It's an isekai. You know there's going to be a harem because it's a fucking isekai.
Well, maybe if they're as interesting as Aqua, Darkness, and Megamine, but
yeah, okay.
And he ends up hating that. She's trying to set him up with him, and
maybe it might turn out to be that. I don't know.
I get the feeling that she's not gonna like these girls if they don't like him, and if they try to do anything to harm his ego.
Possibly. All I know is that the first thing that really puts me off on this show, though, is that literally the mother looks like she's maybe the exact same age. She's drawn to look exactly the same age as Masato.
I think this is just a problem with the anime medium.
It's possible. You're either a child, a teenager, or old.
Yeah, it's difficult to draw, someone that's in our age range of 35 to 45.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say our real ages.
30 to 45, somewhere in that general range.
So, although I still go out sometimes and people are like, you still look like you're 17. I'm like, the fuck? And then people are like, grow a beard. And I'm like, the fuck? So yeah, I'm not going to knock on it for that, but
I'm not knocking on it. I'm just saying that it puts me off a little bit.
The problem I see with this is an opposite of like Dr. Stone and Hanata. Astro Lost of Space.
Yeah.
I don't like the backgrounds that much.
Yeah, they are very. They even point them out. They're like, I think this was an excuse. I think they made a story excuse so that they didn't have to draw things very well. Because when they first got to the video game world, he looks around and is like, but all the NPCs' faces, they're like not done. This is really an early beta.
He only says that about the NPCs.
Yeah.
He doesn't comment about the background art.
Well, maybe that's true.
Of course, I would be amused if he commented on background art. That'd be breaking the fourth wall, but he'd probably be like, yeah, this just doesn't look good.
So, what is the story here? What's going on?
They spent the entire budget on the mom's tits. The story is that Masato is doing a questionnaire about his mom at the beginning, and she seems like a really nice mother.
Yeah, specifically like his relationship with his mom.
And then all of a sudden, Shirase shows up, and she has to explain everything because that's what her name means.
She's my favorite. She's like the standout character of the show. I love this chick.
And she's like, "Have you ever wanted to go into a? Did you ever want to get isekai'd?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, there's no trucks around here, but I got the next best thing.
I have netcode. Enter! Like, I love it. She gets so passionate about she punches the enter button.
And now I hit the enter key. It's kind of like that scene in Death Note where he eats the potato chip all dramatically. And now I will eat this. Man, I wish I had a potato chip right now to reenact it.
I have potato chips downstairs.
That's too much.
Okay.
Too much. I would make a mess. I'd probably be like the Anger guy. And now I eat the potato. Just the fucking chips flying everywhere.
So he gets teleported into an isekai. That's like an early beta of a video game. An MMORPG.
I hard disagree. This is the alpha.
Well, the show specifically refers to it as an early beta.
Yeah, alpha.
And he's like, "Oh, Mom, I know I'm leaving for this other world, but someday I'll come back to you. I promise that I can. I've always said some mean things to you. I'm so sorry about that, but..." Like, he's saying this internally, not to her, as he's being teleported to the other world. He's like, "I always said these horrible things, but maybe I can, when I get there, I'll be able to grow more as a person and change, and I can be able to come back to you and give you a hug and just so sincerely say, I'm home.
Yeah, I'm going on this great adventure.
Yeah.
Despite this being a comedy."
He doesn't know that yet.
He doesn't know that. He's not genre savvy. Yeah, but his mom follows him into the game.
Yes, and he's all like,
"No! Oh, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me."
Like, I love, he actually starts talking about isekais. He's all like, "This is supposed to be like a male power fantasy. You can't have that with your mother here. Ugh, this sucks."
Yeah, he does he does his Darth Vader scream.
Yeah. No!
No!
Stupid as shit. How can you...
killed the women and the children.
Not just the men, but the women and the children. Fucking Star Wars. How can you ruin an amazing 20 to 30, like a 20-minute fight scene with a horrible no? That's not that show. We're talking about Mommy Isekai. Damn it.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah. What is it, like the king of the teleportation realm or whatever the fuck is like their tutorial guide?
Yeah, they're writing the tutorial. They haven't made it to the first village, which is named
Mamania.
Yeah, something like that.
But I love the tutorial because one of my favorite lines is he's talking about setting up their accounts and stuff like that, and he's all like, "Oh shit! I used my real name as my account name. Damn it!" He's like, "Can't be changed. Too late." But what it felt funny.
He's like, "These are your stats." Masato has clearly regular stats, and his mom has a strength value of 401.
Well, I don't think they showed it, though.
Yes, they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. All I know is when they turn to her and she goes, it's like, "So we set up an account." She's like, "What, an account?" She's like, "Well, you do know what an account is,
Do you know what
right?"
an account is?
She's like, but okay, let's put it this way. This will be faster. What do you think an account is?" And she goes,
Account.
like that, right? Like, oh dear God.
Yeah, so she has an intelligence score of 1 on her character sheet, and she shows it.
Oh, does she? I did not see this. Where did you see this?
It's on the character sheet, man.
They showed the Masato's.
They showed both of them.
I didn't see hers. Oh.
I must
have looked away.
Screen cap, blah blah blah, and for this incredibly long title show, I send it to you.
So I love it because they have them choose their weapons, and they're all like, "Oh, normally these would be weapons you get after a really hard quest, but we're gonna give them to you, right away because Because people these days,
players, they just can't deal with it.
they won't play games unless they're incentivized these days.
Yeah, so
And then because the mom says something,
because Momoko states that back in my day we had to beat the monsters with a stick, which is kind of like referencing Dragon Quest 1.
Yep. And Masato goes, he's like, people from the NES generation will shut up right now.
Yeah, so we do have her age range, which is about our age.
Yep.
35 to 45, even though she looks very young.
Yes, she does. But he picks his sword and is like the heavenly blade of the awesome, oh my god, overpowered motherfucker. And he's like, oh, it's so awesome, I'll be able to destroy everything. And she's like, oh, I guess I should choose my swords now, and just plucks both of the remaining swords.
Yeah, she thinks, man, they're really sharp. I can use these for cooking, right?
I love it because they're all like, wait, you chose 2 swords. And she's like, oh yeah, because I figured like if I took one, then the other one would get lonely.
Yeah.
She is an idiot, and I love it.
And then they do the tutorial battle.
And she one-hits everything with like overpowered AoEs.
Yeah, she gets these area of effect attacks that, and because her street score is so high, she just one-shots everything.
And then Masato gets his attack as this one little crescent moon-shaped attack that flies off into space, misses all of the bad guys, but hits one random bird that was going by.
And he's like, why does my mom get all the overpowered shit? I suck!
He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just staying here. Fuck it. Like, he just gives up. And she's like, oh, but come on. It's okay. He's like, Mom, you know something you're not telling me. If you don't tell me, I'll disown you.
Yeah, and then he goes into full douchebag mode and...
Yeah, and she's like, it actually gets his mom to fucking cry. It's like, dude!
He's like, Mom, I hate you. And she's like, well, why would you say that? Why would you go to me like that? That's terrible.
She whips out her mommy powers, because there's no one who can guilt trip like a mother. Mothers can guilt trip like a motherfucker. So
we all know this.
Oh, yeah. She gets him to grovel at her feet, basically. He's like, I forgive you, it's okay.
So let's go to the first town and go to the Adventures Guild. And that's where they point out the character models for the NPCs are just terrible. They didn't have time to illustrate them. The artists are taking naps at the desks.
Yep.
Because they're an early alpha.
And it's like, because she read the manual, which she keeps between her cleavage, because of course she does.
They have put the entire budget into her titties.
Yes, they did.
And she is able to hide that manual, which is a really thick book.
That thick.
Right in between her J cups.
I don't get it, but whatever. She has a bag of infinite holding hidden in there somewhere. But, and she's like, oh, well, okay, what we should do, according to the manual, is make this strong show of force right away to show how great we are. So she
attacks the Adventurers Guild.
Not the Adventurers, not any NPCs, not any bad guys, specifically the building.
They actually bring up an interesting point here, because this isn't like your typical isekai where they just have some, wish fulfillment fantasy.
Yeah.
That because she attacked the guild, it could have been engaging in player killing.
Yep.
So there's actual player killing in this.
Like Dot Hack and
I don't know if
they're
gonna actually go there, because this is a comedy, and
I don't know. Sometimes comedies
that
try to do more
dark.
serious things. Sometimes
I don't know.
They still do it in a funny way, but sometimes they do.
They're gonna focus on setting him up with a waifu and Momoko's titties and him being a douchebag.
They go to the Adventurers Guild, where they meet
Shirarase.
Yeah, Shirarase. He's like, I'm not actually the real Shirarase.
I'm not Shirarase, I'm Shirarase.
Nor am I a NPC or a PC. I'm a game object, and I'm here specifically just to teach you about Adventurer Guilds and set you up with party members. Like, okay, let's see the party members you have available. And she like whips out like these tomes, like these giant encyclopedias full of like potential players. And he picks 3 of them. All the ladies.
Yeah, so that's where we find out that this world is probably populated with nothing but women.
Probably.
And Masato.
And Masato. And then say, oh, so these are the ones you want. So which one of these are your type, Makun? He's like, what? I'm not telling my mom that. What's wrong with you? He's like, because now that these are the ones you chose to be in our party, now they have to go through the mommy interrogation.
She is totally looking for a partner for him. This is what the This is what the entire game was set up. I don't know how she got the influence to convince a company to make some game just to get a wife for her son.
I don't know. So that's where the episode ends, where, Momoko is all like, it's like, I'm going to interrogate these women.
I'm going to see if they're the perfect mate for my son. Yes, this is all her scheme.
So...
200 IQ mother gets a game just...
Well, I thought you said she had IQ of 1.
This is a 200 IQ play, though.
Ah, I see. Soka. I definitely want to keep watching this. This is, it's caught my interest.
Yeah.
It's definitely made me laugh a couple of times. I actually did laugh a few times. It was fun.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. Like I said, the only thing that just weirds me out is that because they didn't define the mother visually as an adult. She looks like a teenager. She looks like the same age, if not barely older than her son. It just sort of is like...
It's okay, man. You define an anime character, a woman's age, by the size of her titties. So if she was flat-chested, she would be like 10. But because she has these ginormous...
Not necessarily. We've had... flat-chested girls that are actually like 3,000 years old because they're actually some spirit or dragon or whatever.
Let's ignore the lollies for a while.
Please,
yes, she is very well endowed, therefore she is older.
Apparently, I guess. Other than that, I really didn't have anything to complain about. It made me laugh. It set up. It actually did a good job of setting up its story, its characters, and its world. There was nothing wrong with this episode. Everything was clearly defined, and its intentions were defined. Its intentions were, we're a comedy. We're going to make you laugh. And it did.
Yes, I laughed. My only caveat is I don't like the background art.
Yeah, I think I can see that. So, let us know if you watched Mommy Isekai. Let us know. Let us know what you felt about it. And in the meantime, let's move right along to the next episode. Coming up next is Dr. Stone. Continuation of possibly contender for anime of the season. If I'm being,
might be the best show of the season.
This or another one. This or Vinland Saga, I think, are in the contenders for best anime this season so far.
I don't know. I think this is gonna take it in the end.
We'll see. But Dr. Stone continues to be really good. They have their portion, and they're gonna go use it on. Fuck! I forgot.
Yurizaha, I think is her name.
Yuzihira.
Yeah,
Yuzihira
or whatever her name is. Something. We're very close. Yeah. I can feel it.
And fuck me, Dr. Stone is
Taiju and Sinku. Senzubi.
Dr. Stone and Big Oaf. Damn it. We'll get there. By the end of the season, I promise, we will have their names memorized. As they continue to introduce new characters that we're all going to have to memorize their names at the same time. Damn it. So they get there, and it's like, all right. Dr. Stone's all like, all right, I'm going to go pour this stuff on girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yuzu.
Because Dr. Stone's like, I don't care who gets thawed out as long as he's not a murderer.
Oh yeah, because he talked about how he tried to use it on on one that was broken up, broken apart.
He's like, turns out if you're already broken, you're dead, and I can't help you. So,
so I basically reanimated de-stoned a corpse.
So I'm gonna give you the choice, and he's like, well, I want to put my dick in this chick, so this is gonna be the first person that we revive.
He didn't put it that vulgarly, but
we know exactly what he wants to do.
I know. But
so Senzu and Seiku Seiku and...
You gave him a fake name and now it's been embedded in your brain.
No, it's Seiku.
I know, but you called him Senzu by accident, you fucking idiot.
It's because I said Senzubi.
I know.
Got that in my head somehow.
That's what I said. You gave him a fake name.
Seiku and Taiju come over there and they're like, yeah, we could do this. And he's like, I'm so sorry that we left you, girlfriend.
Yuzu. Let's call her Yuzu.
Yeah, Yuzu. So sorry that we left you in stone for so long, but we're gonna rescue you now. And then he's like...
Then all of a sudden he's like, he has like an epiphany.
wait a second. I was naked when I woke up, and she's gonna be naked. Don't look, Siku.
See, boom!
Yeah, he just
jabs
him in the eyes.
Just, but like with force. It's like, boom!
He's like, the fuck, that's friendly fire, man.
It's like, don't look at her! She's naked! Stop it! Stop looking!
He's like, bro, I don't care if you want to dick her. I'm just gonna revive people. I don't care.
Yeah, he's like, Senku's like the most, like he gives the littlest of shits about, like no shits whatsoever. His fields of fucks that he gives is barren about whether someone's naked or not.
He's like, I'm married to science, bitch.
But that's not enough. That's not enough for
Taiju.
Taiju. He's like, we'll take her back and we'll make her some clothes and then we'll de-stone her. So
De-stone her. You make this sound like it's a show about drugs.
But so he's like, I'll just carry her, and he picks her up by the butt.
Yeah, so he's so concerned about Siku seeing her naked, but he's got to cop a feel on that stone butt.
Mm-hmm. He's carrying it by the butt and the back. He's just carrying it over his head and like, all right, yay, we're awesome, we're victorious. The victorious men marching back home. What's that noise? Why do I hear this sudden growling noise behind us? And apparently a pride of lions who've been like snacking on roids for the past 1,000 years show up.
Yeah, they've definitely been taking some roids and watching the dumbbell show.
Yeah, because these lions show up. I've seen lions. I've seen lions drawn. I've seen lions on TV. I've seen lions in the zoo. I've never seen lions that are just total beefcakes. That are just like, look at our muscles. Oh!
These are the most muscular lions you will ever see.
They are as wide as they are long with muscles. It's crazy.
And apparently they have so much muscle that it's weighing them down, and while they give chase to Siku and Taiju, they can't catch them.
Even as they stop to have a conversation, the lions have still not caught up with them.
They're like, well, man, weighing 2 tons, we didn't think about this.
So, they like, Taiju's all like, "Oh, go, take Yuzu and go. I'll protect you. I'll be your shield."
And Siku's like, "That's dumb."
Yeah, it's like you're the brawn. I'm the brains. And neither of us can live without the other, dumbass. And he's like, and Taiju, I guess, suddenly 2 of his brain cells bumped together. Finally, he's like, "Idea!
I got it.
Let's go wake up Shishio." He's like, the bad guy from Kenshin? No, this guy, the ultimate primate high schooler? Still with a title I don't understand. And they're like, okay, let's go wake his ass up. And they go wake his ass up. And
he's like, so he sets down his girlfriend and he's like, sorry, I'll dick you later, but I gotta get this guy to rescue us. And so they pour the de-stoning stuff. I don't know. What's a good word for it?
Fleshifier.
The fleshifier on him, and the stone breaks, and he's like, "What's going on?"
Oh, I love it because as it's starts to break off before he says anything, Taiju's all like, "Oh my god, we're doing this and this thing, and it's been thousands of years." He's like trying to explain it all really fast, but we're in trouble and blah blah blah. He's like, "Situation, what is it?" And Senku's like, lions between from your 9 o'clock to your 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock. He's like, got it.
I got this, bro.
And I guess he flexes the stones off in such a way that it sends them flying at all the lionesses, and before any of them can recoil or do anything, he one-hit punches the male lion to death.
He one-shots the alpha male right in the face.
And he kills the lion with a roided-out lion with one punch.
Well, this guy is huge.
Yeah.
Well, he did kill a roided lion.
Yeah. Remember that suspension of disbelief I was talking about earlier? Yeah. We're gonna go back to that being strained pretty heavily immediately. But then again, this is also an anime about people who were all turned to stone, so I mean...
Yeah, they were all turned to stone, and this guy can one-shot lions in the...
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I need to skin this lion, and he one-shots this lion while his wing is flapping in the wind.
That must have been that. I did like when they're like Taiju's all like, man, why haven't these lions killed us yet? And Senku goes off of this thing. He's like, well, they've probably never seen bipedal organisms before, so they're probably just as confused as they are hungry, wanting to kill us.
Why does that guy have 3 legs?
So the male lion probably saw like Shishio and went, shit, he's better endowed than me. It was just taken aback by
He
it.
didn't get one shot. He died of shock.
So, damn it. So, damn it. I get no. Every time I start to talk, I start laughing again. So now they have brute force. They have Senku's brain, Taiju's brawn, and Shishio's brute force, as Taiju puts it. And the rest of the episode is just, Shishio showing off how fucking badass he is.
Yes, he is so athletic that he can leap through a tree and grab a bird out of the air in mid-flight.
Multiple birds! Because then after he showed him doing that one, then he showed him with like a stack of just birds he's holding by the neck.
And he killed the boar-headed kid and his family from Kimetsu no Yaiba. Yeah. And then he went fishing and killed a bunch of piranhas because he didn't just want to get normal fish.
Mutant piranhas, too! They were like these giant fucking mutant piranhas.
Took them all out. This was the In the Buff episode, by the way. Mm-hmm. That one movie clip that I showed you about the guys that have the Dick Tracy-like names.
Oh, yeah.
The main character in that movie walks around it like 90% of the time she's naked.
Oh, of course she is.
And this is how I felt watching this episode. I was watching that movie again. I was like, man, they're doing everything in the buff.
You're gonna have to like send me the name of that so I can put it down here for people to see what you're even talking about.
Scramble.
Okay, well there you go. Why did you just say that?
Because people are gonna go watch it now. They're like, titties.
But so I guess they don't have enough of the stuff to release Yuzu, or they I don't understand why they don't just release it. They got her back to base.
I'm guessing they're gonna do it in the next episode because Shishio also punched a rock into submission and found another girl underneath the rock. So I'm not sure if she's gonna be a character in the show, even though in the opening they do show another girl.
They show a couple of other girls.
I do like the character designs. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it reminds me of the Chrono Trigger's 65 million BC and the old huts and stuff.
Agreed. So basically, I think, and Shishio, he's a great asset to the team. He's like kicking ass. But we set up the rivalry, the antagonery. I don't know what you would call it.
The antagonery.
He goes, so, Senku, you're intent on releasing everybody, huh? It's like, damn straight. Like, I propose this. Because people, adults are greedy assholes, and the moment they're released, they're going to be like, this land used to belong to me, and that's, now you got to pay me taxes, and pay me this, and blah.
Yeah, he does point out that as soon as Senku starts releasing people, there are going to be problems because people are going to want things, and they're going to be like, I want my land back.
Yep.
I had this blah, blah, blah so much time ago.
Yep.
And it belongs to me.
And telling the story that obviously was about him, but, as a kid, he wanted to collect shells from, and this is a sad story, and it's really, this is awesome because it sets him up as an empathetic villain, and because you can sort of see where he's coming from, and, where he was like trying to collect seashells just off the beach to make a necklace for his sister because his sister wanted to be like the Little Mermaid. She was like, going like in surgery or something like that. It's like some kind of life-saving surgery.
And he's like, this dude that had the fishing rights to this place came over and was like, you're stealing my seashells, and he beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. And he never got, and the young boy never got to make make his sister feel like the Little Mermaid.
And then he decapitates somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was supposed to be this guy, or if it was just some random adult, because he has an adult-hating problem.
And Senku's all like, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but you do realize you just killed a man.
It's like, bro, you just murdered that dude.
He's like, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it again, too.
He's like, so what do you say? How about we only release those who are young and innocent? And fuck all those people who are old.
I'm not sure about that young and innocent
That's
thing.
what he said. Those were his words.
I mean, he does have a worldview, but
obviously, yeah. He thinks that all kids, just because they're kids, are innocent. Even though I grew up with plenty of already corrupted and awful people that were kids.
Yeah.
So. He has an interesting, narrow-sighted worldview, but
he thinks younger people are gonna have less problems
just because they're
create
younger.
less problems.
It's like it's like when people think that just because a person's an adult, they got everything, they got all their shit together just because they're an adult.
Shishi is like, I hate old people.
Yeah. Middle-aged to old people, fuck those people. I'll punch their rock stone heads off. And Senku's all like, well, I get what you're coming from. I get it. It's cool. But 10 million %, because everything's by 10 million. It's like 10 million %. I completely disagree with you. I'm going to release everybody because I am awesome like that. Because it's like, I'm just a caveman lawyer. It's like, I'm just your simple average kid who loves technology and gets excited by mecha, and he named something, I didn't know what it was.
Doraemon.
Whatever that is, I don't know what that is.
I don't know it either.
He's like, and you know what? Because I'm just a kid like that, I'm going to release everyone. Sorry, bro. That's my plans.
So yeah, we do have differences of opinion here.
Yes, and I'm really interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, I think Shishio is going to make a good villain because he has these convictions and
the brute force to back it up.
He makes some sense even though he's going about it the wrong way.
I have a feeling he's going to be like the kind of guy, like they're going to find out because they showed one scene where everyone was asleep and he was still awake with like the evil eyes, the evil angry eyes. Like, I think you're going to show this is just my prediction. They're going to show he's like sneaking out at night and finding adult stone statues and just decapitating them.
While he was in the stone statue.
No, now.
Oh,
while
okay.
he's
kind of confused me.
No. While Senku and Taiju were sleeping, it showed it panned over and it showed him.
He's probably been doing that.
Yeah, he's sitting there all like. I think he's getting up at night and he's sneaking out. And he's decapitating the heads of people who look middle-aged or older.
But then he did it right in front of Senku, so I don't know if...
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it right in front of the guy, that means you didn't really care about using, guile or anything to...
Well, at the same time, though, I think it's because he's still testing the waters with the Senku kid to see if he'll become a problem or if he was with him or not, He's trying to see where they stand, where they stack with each other.
They don't stack very well.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm really interested. I mean, they set up... just instantly, we have Senku, someone who's all about a complete intellectual, all about science and technology, versus this dude who has super strength and super convictions. How is intellect going to work versus emotional convictions? And that's a really cool... what would you call it? Rivalry. Intellect versus emotional convictions. I mean,
for it to be a real rivalry, though, they would have to win some and then lose some.
I know. So that's why I can't wait to see. I want to see where the ebb and flow of that's going to go throughout the series. We'll have to find out, because that was the end of the episode. A really good episode. I like the character Shishio. It's nice to see him outside of the bandages, But
he got better.
After he burned up at the end. It made him better, not worse.
This is what happened after he burned up in Kenshin. He got sent into it. He got isekai'd into Dr. Stone.
There was no trucks in the Meiji era of Japan, so you just had to burn up. Or whatever era that was.
It was the Meiji era.
Oh yes, I got it right. But that was Dr. Stone, a fantastic episode. Yes?
Yes.
Final thoughts?
Yes.
Alright, moving on.
I feel like this week has been fan service week.
You think?
Because I think in every episode they've had some sort of fan service.
Thinking. Astra didn't.
Just look at those fucking suits that the girls wear.
Yeah, but they didn't go out of their way to zoom in on certain parts.
Fitting.
Yeah, but they are for the dudes too. It's nothing different.
There's something for everybody.
But they never went out of their way to show fan service-y type scenes, though.
But just going into that, we have how heavy are the dumbbells you lift today, which...
Speaking of fan service, Jesus fuck.
Which is our resident fitness show.
Mm-hmm.
Although I kind of disagree with it a little bit.
I'm not gonna... I'm going to say this. I don't know. With the things they said, a lot of things, some of the things they said that you took umbrage with, I'll be perfectly honest and say, I honestly don't know. Like, I was taught otherwise, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe the people who taught me were wrong. But, please.
Yeah, so, we get right into fan service.
Well, yeah, we start
The
with...
entire show is nothing but fan service.
Well, don't we start with, like, her waking up and, like, weighing herself or something? Like, and to find out she gained 1 pound or 1 kilogram?
Yeah, she gained, like, 0.5 kilograms and is, like, panicking. She's like, oh my god, this is terrible. I was trying to lose weight. And then they go into this whole explanation. Yeah, your muscle, you're going to put more of that on than your fat cells.
Mm-hmm. Muscles are denser or whatever and stuff.
I don't know because she still looks pretty good.
That is one of my major complaint with the show. She, like... Hibiki?
Yeah, Hibiki.
Hibiki is all like, oh, I'm so fat! Oh! And I'm like, bitch, you're hot. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think 55 or 56 kilograms is going to kill you.
Nah.
In fact, I think she should be slimmer than she's actually portrayed in the show. Because that's kind of low weight.
Yeah, true. I guess it
again,
and we
like
talked
5 foot even.
I don't know. They did at one point did say her height, but I did not commit it to memory in the first episode. Because they like showed like, you know, height and then like weight and body index. And I didn't commit it to memory.
Yeah, so Machio, who got bigger?
Well, the first thing my favorite thing he did this episode, he's like after screaming the phrase "Let's Masu," he like flexes his one arm and just busts out of the jumpsuit.
He
just
has,
the arm. Just the arm.
He's a flexible body mass, volume or something.
Either that or he has like a compression jumpsuit.
Yeah, so he breaks his tracksuit and his arm goes from being this little spindly thing to bigger than his head in an instant.
Like imagine if the Hulk hulked out, but only his right arm.
I imagine that's just a side effect from going to this gym where your muscles fucking explode.
Yes.
They're putting something in those protein drinks.
So, what was the first bit? It was about the what's it called? The lift? No.
I know you did criticize it because you said they were just like, let's do deadlifts and.
Oh no, yeah, it was before deadlifts. It was another thing they did.
They're
press.
going with that bar.
Yeah, the thing that's like it's like up here. You pull it down to your chest and then you lift it up. That thing I can't remember what it was called. But then she's like, it's to work out the abs, wasn't it? No. The back. It was to work out the back.
Work out the back.
And
because she was panicking. She's like, I don't want to look like Machi.
And it's like, well, you know, there's another way you can work that part out, but it's called the deadlift. But and even she was like, but I would not even recommend you do this because I was like, oh, thank God they told people not, because you can really fuck yourself up if you're not doing the deadlift right. You can fuck yourself up real good. And they even pointed that out in the show. So I was like, oh, thank God they said that.
Do you mean bad?
Yeah.
Or good?
No, bad.
How do you fuck yourself up good?
You can fuck yourself up real good. It's like making fires better.
Yeah.
Exactly, like that.
We made the fires better. We made the deadlift better. Your injury got better.
The deadlift makes injuring yourself even better. Well, correct statement. Doing the deadlift wrong makes injuring yourself better.
There is so much wrong with that sentence.
Shut up!
I don't know where to start.
We're talking about how heavy are the dumbbells you lift, and you're really gonna nitpick?
Yeah, they get done with that, and then they go into the shower room, where
here we go.
We really get some full frontal nudity there.
Like, you know, it was actually surprising. I was like, oh, okay. They didn't use whenever they teach you how to do the thing, they always do the fan service. They didn't really do fan service for this one.
They didn't do that to this one.
They did scan lines for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. I'm like, why are there scan lines?
But they didn't do fan service. Like, oh, maybe they're backing away from the fan service. Next scene. Oh, nope, never mind. There it is. They're both taking a shower. Got it.
They're like, yeah, that was so great. And then they wander into Machio's protein bar.
To get... Oh, and of course, I had to make the joke. Do you think they sell protein bars in the protein bar? Like, But they don't. They sell protein shakes. Or actually, I don't think they ever sell it. I think they just give them to members because I just see no money.
Machio's in there like nearly buck naked, just wearing his Speedo
and the bow tie. And the collar. You have the collar and the bow tie.
With the bow tie. Yeah, so...
I swear to God, like you said, I think he gets buffer every time we see him. Like just
taller,
a little bit.
And taller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to boil this show down in a nutshell, it's just fan service.
But
no
also,
matter what...
it's fan service while trying to actually teach
It is educational.
Yeah.
But I think it's got its primary vehicle as being fan servicey as hell, though.
I think they're really taking the phrase, when they sell everything sold with sex.
Yeah.
They're really taking that to heart in this show.
Because we have the looted girls and we have the looted guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the one show that, anybody on any gender spectrum can watch and be like, yeah, I get it.
I mean, when you're sitting there watching, you can't help it. I mean, it's not like, you're looking for it, but I mean, it's just clearly on screen, Machio in that Speedo with his balls dangling there in that Speedo, just like, hi, there it is.
No, this isn't like Dr. Stone where the dude had his wing flapping in the wind. If that happens, then Hibiki's like, what? Do you have to be naked this time? Do you have to be almost naked too? Do you have to be naked?
But then we get our second segment, which begins our confusion.
Yes.
Because it's the swimming segment.
Confusion.
I am error. Because we get to... They're swimming and they there's this weird little part where what's the other chick's name? Akemi?
Yeah, Akemi.
Akemi's all like, oh, you can totally determine what sport a person plays by looking at their muscles. And it's like that person does blah and blah and blah. But then they're like, okay, it's time to swim. All right, I'm going to do some stretches. She's like, stop!
Well, I want to comment first that these are these women that she's pointing out have to be the most dedicated weightlifters out there because they look like they're in peak physical form for a woman's body.
Well, there was the cyclist, and her calf muscles were the size of they were almost Chun-Li size. Nothing could ever get that big, but I mean, they were almost there.
Chun-Li's thighs are gross. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you there. She's a great character in the game, though. She has an excellent moveset, but her thighs are incredibly gross. Then there was some other chick, I can't remember what, or is her abs or it was her back, I think.
Yeah.
And then there was the one chick who was doing something, I don't know what she was doing, and they were like,
yeah,
she was like, this chick is just ripped as a motherfucker, just all the way through.
This is exactly what sport they do. Unfortunately, there was no girl on the ground crying like a baby. Guess which sport that's from?
Soccer. I didn't get it at first either. But
now you definitely... yeah.
Well, specifically if they're from the Italian team. But, so maybe that's why there wasn't, because there wasn't someone from the Italian national team on at that particular pool.
Yeah, we're in Japan, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And they go over to this thing where they're like...
Hibiki's
like, yeah, I better stretch out to get ready for the swimming, because swimming works out all the muscles.
And Akemi's all like, stop! And why? What? I was supposed to stretch. And she goes on this thing about how stretching is before you work out is bad for you. Which is the contrary to everything I've ever been taught. When I was in ROTC, when I was briefly a member of a gym, everything always, when I was in gym class in grade school and high school, we always were taught stretch before you work out and stretch after you're done.
I'm probably going to say something bad here.
I don't know if they were right, but I am confused.
So they cite some study from some university in what was the country?
It was
like some Eastern Europe, Croatia.
Croatia.
So they cite this one study about how they found that it decreased your bulking by 5.5% and something else by 3%.
Decreased your output or something like that. Or decreased
like that. Which are not huge amounts.
Yeah.
Like, if you could bench press 400 pounds and you lose 5% of that...
Yeah, it's like,
who cares?
Yeah. It's like...
You're still gonna look like Machio.
Yeah. But then they start doing these... What did you call them? What stretches?
But,
Dynamic stretches.
Let me continue.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
In scientific journals, most of the things that are published these days actually cannot be recreated in a lab.
Okay.
So it's kind of iffy because the way you get to something as a scientific theory is through repeated trials and stuff.
Right.
So I'm not sure I buy this.
Yeah,
everything I've ever gone through is stretch out before you do something,
Same
otherwise
here.
you're going to injure yourself. And they're
Yep.
like, well, this one study, okay.
Yeah. Again, one, they point to one study. Two,
If we have multiple studies confirming
Yeah.
the same thing, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe there's something to this.
yeah, but they pointed to one study. And my second point is she goes to say, not many people know this. You know, it's like, well then, if it was something that was practiced and tried and true, people would know this. Apparently, the writers of the show have an agenda with this right
I
here.
feel like this is like the bodybuilder's excuse not to do any stretching,
I don't know.
like they do for leg day. I'm just gonna skip leg day.
But, what was it? So yeah, they're doing this thing called dynamic stretches, which is...
Dynamic stretches were just flailing around like idiots.
Dynamic stretches weren't just flailing around like idiots. They were flailing around like idiots in a specific motion to be fan servicey. Like every motion they did was to show off, you know, watch as we do these things that make our breasts bounce, and watch as we stretch our legs to you know, as this wide posture. It's like, okay, all right, stop
You're making
it.
a great point for me to rewatch that segment.
Until Peaky is stretching. I don't know how she did this with this stretch.
I don't even understand. She rips her swimsuit out at the butt.
by leisurely moving her right leg back and forth.
Like, and they're like, please wear loose clothes. Like,
He's
no.
like, she goes, maybe I should have worn some loose clothing. That's what a bathing suit is.
She's wearing a bathing suit.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything restricting her arms
Nope.
or restricting her legs.
Nope. It makes no sense. It's there just for comedy's sake, but at the same time, it also just doesn't make any damn sense. I don't know how she ripped it in that way, doing what she was doing. It makes no
I
damn
get the
sense.
feeling that it was just being mean-spirited on the fact that she's
fat. Fat. She's not fat. She's fat. So then we get a scene where she goes to. This actually, I like the scene. At least the first half of it, where she's at her friend's house.
This is the best part of the episode.
Where we find out the two of them are like big Arnold Schwarzenegger's fans.
Yes, this is our in-universe Arnold Schwarzenegger parody.
We find out that her friend is like a big movie buff. She loves movies. Like she's got
Especially about buff guys.
Yeah, she's got like a DeLorean on her bedstand.
Yeah, they had all this stuff if you could recognize it.
Like a little droid that looked like a cross between R2-D2 and BB-8. A little like something that looks like a cross between Darth Vader and a stormtrooper. Mm-hmm. And then on her shelf, you see clearly it's Jaws. But it says the same. Next to like a picture of a little figure of a gray alien and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're like they totally nerd out on the Arnold Schwarzenegger saga. Like it's like, oh, should we watch them chronologically, or you know, in the way that they were released? Because if we release it, we watch 1, 2, 3, 4, or if we watch it chronologically, then it's like 3, 4, 1, 2, and it's going on.
Watch order discussion. Let's not go there.
And then, like, it keeps panning around her room, and you see that she's just this huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. She's got a calendar and posters and figurines. And her sister comes in, and she's all like, "Hey, whatever your name was, I can't remember. I'm going to stand here with the..."
I do not understand how her sister's proportions are physically possible.
No, I don't either. Unless she either has really thin legs or the world's widest vagina. I don't know.
She has this thigh gap that, oh my god, I just, like, what the fuck is going on?
She straight up has like a 5-inch thigh gap. It's like, but like it's
that
not
does
like
not look natural.
it's not like her legs are like spread apart. They are straight up and down. It's like, something's wrong here. But
I mean, she doesn't look wrong, but at the same time, she looks wrong.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like there's something wrong here, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And realizing that I shouldn't have used that specific analogy with the portion of the body we were talking about.
But then she's like, "Yo, friend, what is her friend's name?"
I forget. I totally forget.
We're great with names. Yeah, so her other friend, the tan girl, with the brown hair and ponytail, is like, "Yeah, this is what our family does for a living," and apparently they own a gym where boxers and other I guess it's just boxers.
Yeah. Like she goes, like she's like there to help out. Like, oh, I'm gonna go help with the family business. Oh, we family business. Let me go find out what that is. It cuts to a scene. She's got like the glove things that the boxers punch. It's like, come on, you lightweight, bring it, you bitch, come on.
I gotta give her props. This dude was pretty ripped compared to her, and
she's just taking it, like, boom, boom, boom.
I mean, doing an analysis of a man and a woman's body mass, she was doing pretty good there.
Well, it showed like she like lifted her shirt to wipe off her forehead, and she's just fucking ripped.
She's got this fucking great abs.
She's got a 12-pack under there.
Hibiki's like, "How'd you get the abs?" And then she's like, "I do this exercise." And I was like, "The fuck?" She was recommending it to Hibiki, and I'm like, "This girl cannot go for like 2 seconds doing the bar for the bench press."
Yeah, she has to do the bar with no weights on it, and she can't do it. And she's asking, and this friend of hers is asking her to do this? Dragon,
The dragon flag. So,
yeah.
This was an exercise that was invented by Bruce Lee, and I've known about it for a long time. When I told you the story about me doing all the exercises, staying fit in 2005, that's when I first encountered it, and I was like, maybe I should try out dragon flags. This exercise is so fucking difficult.
And she doesn't even do it right.
Like Bruce Lee was like, crunches are not good enough for me. I need to work out my abs so well, I need to invent a new exercise. He invented this exercise, and it's like the most difficult thing. Like, it would be a 15 out of 10.
Like, dude, I mean, just look it up. There is a video out there of Bruce Lee, a black and white video of Bruce Lee doing these dragon flags, and just watching him doing it, I'm going, no, there's no way I would ever be able to do this. But then this little chick, the friend of Hibiki, is just like, not only is she doing it, but she's like going like 3 steps beyond. She's like, her legs are like going all the way like straight up before she comes back down with it.
I feel like this might actually be easier for a woman to do because of having a lower body mass.
Maybe, I don't know. But she's just like cranking them out. And even Hibiki's going, no, what's wrong with you?
No, I'd say maybe like 1% of the population could do a dragon flag.
And you said that during that part of the episode, and after he says this, everyone else in the boxing training camp goes over like, oh, I thought everyone knew how to do it. I thought everyone could do it. What? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with you? Everyone could do a dragon flag. What's wrong with you?
Out of touch with reality.
Yeah. It's like, well, do you got something simpler for me? And they get it. I've seen them do this exercise. I forget what it was called.
The plank?
Yeah, the plank. I've done this before. I have done the plank.
Me too. That's called going to sleep.
I mean, I can see, for someone like Hibiki, that being, like, difficult because she could barely hold herself up. But
she's like the world's weakest girl.
But then she's like,
let's do dragon flags.
She's like, okay, hey Hibiki, have you ever thought about boxing? Oh no, I never. I'm a totally weak ass. So here, put these gloves on. I was totally waiting for the joke for the gloves to go on her, and then her arms would go.
Yeah, she's like, I got these 3 ounce. Oh shit, these 3 ounce gloves are too heavy. Or she was gonna hit the bag and it was gonna ricochet back into her and knock her out.
Or it was like she was gonna punch it and wasn't gonna move at all. And you can see like the lines go up her arm, like until it hits her.
Oh, my arm's broken down.
Like
she's not gonna be complaining about the muscle pain anymore. She's like, oh, my fucking bone.
But no, she punched. She gets in this Hajime no Ippo stance, and she like. You know Hajime no Ippo where he does this for about 5 minutes while the enemy stares at him going, the fuck are you doing? But then Hajime, he proceeds to whoop ass.
Yeah.
She doesn't do this thing first. She just goes straight to boom! And knocks the bag
the only way I could explain this is like the chain was already busted from the other guys.
The strap that's part of the bag itself that the chain goes through must have been ripped. Because she just punches it clean off the chain. Actually, no, because it shows the chain break. So it was the chain that was bad, because it actually showed the chain break.
And we do know some definitive facts about Hibiki. She weighs about 56 kilograms.
56.1.
56.1. She's very bad at upper body strength. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What's this, like a 100-pound bag or so?
It was a full body, the giant punching bag.
Even if it's like 40 pounds, okay? I just don't...
I don't know if this is played off as a joke, or if it's going to come back the next episode and go, oh, that was her imagination or something. You know, but it's just...
No, wait, I know it is, because they're talking in the protein bar about how she does exercise if you drink the protein 30 minutes after. They're going to be like...
Within 30 minutes.
They're going to be like, this is exactly why.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. And for
bullshit.
For a show that, like, is supposed to be grounded in reality and teaching real things, this is sort of stupid. And this thing is actually, like, most of the show goes out of its way to set real expectations. It actually says, oh, you shouldn't expect this and the other, and oh, these extreme diets do this, that, and the other. And it actually pointed out a lot of facts, a lot of real expectations. Granted, I think, like I said, what they said about dynamic stretching, obviously this person who wrote this has an agenda towards that study.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to me at all.
But still, this show is supposed to be grounded in reality. And here we have her punching a bag.
I do have an anecdote about that, because I used to take karate classes when I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I was going to 2 classes each night, and because I really wanted to lose weight and get in shape, and it worked.
Oh yeah.
Wish I still had a picture of me back then with my crazy hair and everything. So I would take these classes, and the one class was an hour long, and the other class is an hour and a half long.
Right.
The beginner and the intermediate. And I was just taking them because I wanted to get a lot of exercise in.
Right.
And there's this one time they bought some boards for board breaking, which it's really easy. It's a trick.
I've never I know the trick, but I've never tried it.
But I actually failed at that because I had exhausted myself during those classes. We broke the boards at the end of the classes. And I could not do it because I was exhausted.
Right.
So this doesn't compute that Hibiki was able to knock down that.
Yeah. Because she has just done the planking and was already exhausted from that. It showed that it stressed her body out so much. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And then she cleanly punches a punching bag straight off the ceiling.
Not convinced.
It does not compute. That suspense of disbelief from earlier completely shattered. And yeah, that's how it ended. So yeah, like I said, for a show that's supposedly all grounded in reality and trying to teach realistic expectations and the proper way to do things and so on and so forth,
like wearing a gimp mask.
Again, I mean, it does have its exaggerations, with especially like Machio and those dudes in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has exaggerations. But whenever it's teaching things and showing things, I thought, okay, now we're going to get the proper structure on how to work a punching bag. How to do that properly. We didn't get that. We got this exaggerated, silly, Hibiki's able to punch it off the ceiling moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, meanwhile, we had two other girls in there who have been trained by their dad all their lives to be boxers. They are unable to do this. This chick who just started working out, 2 weeks ago, has this ability. I find that a little hard to believe. Is it by the end of this she's going to use her knowledge that she gained from weightlifting to save the fucking world?
2 possible scenarios here.
Okay. All right.
They're going to explain it away with the protein.
Yeah, possibly.
Or she got in an adrenaline rush and went past her body's limiters.
She went to Super Saiyan Blue.
And was able to do a quick burst of
Ultra Instinct.
And
she reached Ultra Instinct.
She's gonna be like, I don't know how I did that afterwards. It's like the stories you always hear where somebody's in danger of their life because the car's on top of them.
Yeah.
And somebody...
Yeah.
I learned that this is actually true, that your body has physical limiters on it.
Okay.
And they're there for a good reason. Because you will injure yourself doing this shit. Yep. But it's physically possible.
I guess.
But not good for you.
No. So that was how heavy are your dumbbells? How heavy are the dumbbells you lift this week? That actually sounded like a run-on sentence, actually.
How heavy are the dumbbells
you lift this week?
How heavy is the dumbness that goes through that punching bag this week?
And any final thoughts on that?
I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Especially by all the lewdness.
Yeah.
Very, very intrigued.
So, with that, let's go ahead and move on to the last anime we watched this week. And finally this week, we have Vinland Saga. The other anime that I think is a contender for anime of the season. Or as we just colloquially refer to it when we forget the name, Vikings!
Vikings!
Because it got very Vikings today.
Yeah, so this is yet another episode in the fan service where we see dudes
butt-ass naked.
Butt-ass naked.
But with conveniently placed grass.
There's men and women doing this, and children. Yeah. All buck naked. They don't show any actual nudity, but...
Because, according to the narration of this episode, Vikings only bathe on Saturdays.
I find this very questionable that they only bathe on Saturdays.
Specifically.
Like...
Does that mean if they don't,
okay.
if they were too busy to bathe that day, does it mean they don't bathe until the next following Saturday?
Oh God,
that's got to be. Well, I mean, this is Viking time. Grossness is to be expected, but
they kind of these guys kind of live up north, so they're in the cold climes, and I would assume they don't have a ton of humidity to make them sticky and gross.
Well,
but
I don't know.
Bathing once a week.
That's still gross. That is still gross. If you do that, you are gross. Oh, don't worry, I bathe 2 times a week. You're still gross.
We get all this fan service of these buff-ass guys splashing water on each other and going, ha ha ha,
and like play wrestling.
Play wrestling.
Yeah. And then,
some mother with her kids, butt naked.
Yeah, everyone's played this game. I think everyone's played this game. The game of getting speared through the chest. Oh, everyone loves that game.
Yeah, because the English knew that they only took baths on Saturdays.
And they were sneaking up underwater in full armor, with weapons, and no one saw them.
That's because they were too busy splashing water on each other with buckets and having a good old time. But these Englishmen,
a gay old time.
These Englishmen come in and they're like, kill everybody, kill the women, kill the children. The king demands it.
Kill them all, but not just the men, but the women.
Get the women and the children. Yeah, it's dirty business killing people while they're taking a bath.
Apparently the king of the English demands this. And then, hard cut to the children playing war in Tor's village.
Yeah, so Thorfinn and all the other kids are like, "You're dead. We're playing with these wooden weapons and killing each other, and we're gonna be great warriors, but you're dead."
Yeah, and Thorfinn's not too happy that he was like the second one killed. He's like, man, why did I get killed so quickly?
Wait, at least I'm not you. You're always the first one killed. He's like, this kid's just holding this sword up. He's like, yep, I'm pretty dead. But did you hear about Valhalla?
Valhalla's this cool place that, hey, even if I'm the first to die, if I die a strong warrior, I'll get to go to Valhalla. I mean, hell, sounds good to me. Like,
not if he's the first to die.
Yeah, but if you're still a strong warrior.
I don't think he's going to be very strong.
Well, you never know. I mean, hey, the warriors can still be taken out without even noticing. Arrow come out of nowhere and kill them.
If they're ambushed, yeah.
So there you go.
But if he's just facing off this other swole guy, and he gets speared through the chest, and he's the first to die.
Yeah. I don't know. It's religion. I don't understand. Religion has its own rules that I don't understand, and whatever. It's up. Let's leave it in Odin's hands.
Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it in Odin's hands then.
It's like what's that old saying? You just shoot them all and leave it up for God to sort them out, or something to that effect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just replace God with Odin, and we'll just leave it at that. Kill them all and leave it for Odin to sort out. But so Thorfinn's not too happy that I'm so weak. Oh, I hate being so weak. And he talks.
He's a kid.
Yeah, I know. I think they said like he's 6 years old.
You seen his dad?
I'm starting to wonder if that's really his dad, though. I mean, like, he's got this jet black hair, and everyone else in the family's got golden blonde hair. Where the fuck did those... I mean, well, I guess it came from the mom. She has golden hair, but I mean...
Yeah.
So, nobody else got his black hair, Gene? Nobody?
No. It's unique to him.
Apparently. So, and then they're like, it shows the kids are talking to Leif Erikson, and he's like, "Well, I'm heading out. It's time for me to go and make trades for, so I can trade all this shit for wine."
He wants some wine
to celebrate Jesus' birthday.
Yeah.
And that's not me being joke. That's what he said.
He needs some wine to celebrate Jesus' birthday, and he's like, "Thorfinn, go tell your dad there's a warship coming."
Because like in the middle of his sentence, he gets like the 1,000-mile stare, and then he like stops talking, and that's when he says that. And he looks over. The kids look over.
So Thorfinn runs for his dad, and he runs wildly, and he runs right by him.
Like Tors is like getting like taught like under apprenticeship by a blacksmith. Yeah. It's like, haha,
it's like,
I fixed it. It's like, did you put water in it? He's like, oh no, it didn't work.
It's leaky. I don't know how I failed.
Well, I think I know how he failed, because I didn't see a single goddamn like heat source that he was using to like reshape the metal. He was just pounding on it.
Have you seen the size of Tor's?
Good point. He was putting off the heat.
Yes. Yes.
Because it showed him he was like pounding it, and then he put it in the metal. And I'm like, A, was not red hot. B, where was the fire? Where was the fire?
He is the fire.
He is lit. But I did love when Thorfinn's like, Dad! He's like running 30, runs right by his dad.
Yeah, he just runs right by him, and he's like, I'm over here, man.
He like pulls a Sonic the Hedgehog's like skid stop, like turns around.
He's like, Dad, there's some blonde dudes. They've come.
The blondes have come.
Yeah, so this warship of these Vikings show up, and they're all blonde.
Well, I think there was a couple brown-haired dudes.
All blonde.
There was a couple brown-haired dudes.
All blonde.
All
blonde.
Couple brown.
Blonde.
All couple brown.
No, they're all blonde, and then...
Fine, we'll have it your way.
And then Squarehead shows up.
He's not joking. Dude's head... Like, I used to joke about Matt Smith, like, the one of the doctors... The one that actually played Doctor Who. If you ever watch Doctor Who, Matt Smith, his head is a square. Or it's a rectangle. This dude, with the way his hair is cut, his beard is cut, and his face is shaped, this man has a perfect rectangular face.
Yeah, he's a Dick Tracy villain.
Yeah.
Squarehead.
I think he had a name, but I think we're going to go with Squarehead.
Yeah.
I think he was the dude from the first episode that he was fighting alongside.
I don't know.
I think it was that guy.
But yeah, he shows up and he's like, I need to talk to Thors.
Thor's the troll.
The troll. And they're like, what the fuck is that?
And Thors comes up, none too happy.
He's like, the fuck you doing here?
He's like,
I'm gonna fuck somebody up.
Say, hey, you need me? We need to talk, bro.
Just Viking things.
And they go into his house. I love, like, all the kids and the teenagers are all, like, piled at the door.
They're like, my dad's angry. And he's like, well, these guys came up and killed all these other guys while they were bathing, and we need to go get revengeance.
So getting such and such, the king of the Vikings, a perfect excuse to go attack the English. So that's what we're going to do. We're at war with the English, and I was told to come get you.
Oh, by the way, Tors, 15 years ago, we know you ran away from that battle.
Yeah. And
so, if you don't join us, we're going to fuck everything up here.
See, the king wants you so badly that he says he'll forgive your past transgressions. That's how badly he wants you for this fight. And here's the other caveat is I'm not allowed to leave here unless you say yes.
Tors is like, well, fuck.
Because
I could have fucked all these guys up, but
because it shows like the rest
I'm
of
a man
his
of peace now.
Yeah, the rest of his men, the blonde squarehead is like his men are like strategically positioning themselves around the village.
Yeah, then one of the kids bumps into him. Well, I guess he's more of a teenager.
Yeah.
He bumps into one of the blonde hair guys, and the blonde haired dude just looks at him. He's like, he gives him this look like, I'm gonna skull fuck you.
And it's
I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna skull fuck you.
And it's not even a joke either, because like when Squarehead's gonna leave, and he calls his men, like, okay, everyone, withdraw, let's go. That guy, he looks at that same kid, disappointed that he didn't get to skull fuck the kid.
And Leaf's like, you just got saved, bro. He was gonna skull fuck you.
He's like, all right, I'm leaving here, and Tors. He actually uses his real last name. I forget what it was though. Tors Torrenson, whatever it fucking was. He's going to be leaving your village on with the one warship he's allowed from our king, and any able man that can pick up a sword who wants to go with them, now's the time. And everyone's
they're like, yes, we get to murder people!
Woo! War! Yeah! Can't wait, bro! War! Huh, 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 huh.
I've never seen people this excited about killing other people.
I know, it's like... What the fuck? But then, of course, you realize it's, it's the year 1002, and it's Vikings.
It's Vikings.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's right. It makes more sense now when you think about that.
They've got to go from village to village and pillage the women and rape the horses.
It reminds me of that old Muppet Show sketch where they did In the Navy, but it was the Muppets, they were all dressed as Vikings plundering. Did you ever see that?
I don't remember it, man. It's been so long since I watched Muppets.
If you've ever seen it, I wish I could put that in this video, but of course it would get flagged instantly. But I'll have to show it to you after this, and I want you guys to go watch that. If you ever see that, just type in The Muppet Show in the Navy. It's literally the most lighthearted, happy thing you've ever seen while they are plundering and looting other Muppets and burning down their Muppet village. As they're going, in the Navy, Muppets. You can sail the 7 seas. In the Navy, you can kill this guy with a spear.
Yeah, so, Thor's is going back. Speaking of that, Thor's is going back to his house. He's all gloomy. He's like, "Fuck, I'm a man of peace. I don't want to kill anybody." And then these two teenagers are like, "Let's stab each other." So he goes away, and he's like,
the kids are all excited
because the kids are play fighting again.
And Thorfinn is just like,
"Oh, I'm pissed off,"
and he's like going like full anime on these other kids.
Yeah, the one kid's like, I stabbed I stabbed Thorfinn. Thorfinn's dead. And Thorfinn's like, fuck you.
And then the mother's like, hey, you can't do that. You're dead. He takes the wooden shield. He's got,
it's like, fuck your rules.
And like all the other kids are like, everyone charge at Thorfinn. And he gets a couple and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And then they stab him and they just like, fuck you. I'm out. I quit.
Yeah, so he walks off pissed off. And he's like, I need to get revengeance on these kids.
So he's like one of the dads brings a kid, like, he broke one of the kid's arms.
Yeah, he hit him so hard, he broke his arms, and Thor's is like, I'll fix this. Make sure the split stays on him for a month. And he's like, but your kid did this. And he's like, he did? He should be a man of peace like me.
But then, like, the dad of the kid who got his arm broke was all like, ha 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 ha!
That's okay. Your kid is just cool.
Your kid's awesome. He's only 6 years old and he broke the arm of a kid multiple 8 years older than him. Ha 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 ha! It's like, if I was that kid, I'd be like, thanks, Dad. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks for these great genes.
So it shows Thorfinn and he's like rummaging through his dad's stuff. He's like, what's her name? Ilza.
Yeah.
Ilza. Ilva. Yeah. Ilva. Where do we keep the weapons? Like someone just
weapons or Dad's a man of peace.
I love it. He asks it with such the same kind of like blasé. He was like, where's the nail clippers? I can't find the nail clippers. He's like, Ilva, where the fuck is the swords? I can't find the swords.
I gotta kill the neighborhood kids.
And he finds his dad's, I guess, dagger? It's like this big.
And it tells you how to use it.
It's a dagger that has a tutorial on it. Has little arrows pointing towards the tip.
Yeah, put the pointy end in there. He's like, oh man, this is beautiful.
But then the giant hand of Thor's comes down on the blade, just grabs it.
He's like, son, we gotta be men of peace.
Actually, I really like what Thor says here. He says, son, why do you need a sword? And he's like, well, because like, to fight, like
to kill the neighborhood kids.
He was like, so I can fight too. He's like, do you know why we use swords? He's like, to defeat our enemies. He's like, okay. He's like, who is your enemy? And he goes, well, shit, like
slave owner,
bad guys, that Halford guy. And he's like, son, you're 6. You don't have any enemies. It's like, he's got a point.
The neighborhood kids are his enemies.
No, they're not his enemies.
Yes, he does. He's so pissed off at them that he's got to get his revengeance.
Oh, you bastard! I have to take the power away from this moment, you ass.
If we get to episode 3 and he goes on a murderous rampage and kills all the kids in the village.
Oh, you and I both know what's going to happen because it ends with them.
Yes, he's going to kill all the kids in the village.
Because they're getting. This shows that they're getting the boat ready to go and everything like that. I bet you dimes to donuts. You know, they're all going to be like, you know, Thor's is all like, I left behind my village and my home to go fight in this war I don't want to go fight in, and then he's going to turn around and like look through the stores on the boat, you know, the storage area, and there's going to be his son, you know, fucking Thorfinn's like stowed away.
After he killed all the kids.
No, he's not going to kill all the kids.
Yeah,
he's not going to kill them. No, he's not.
He's like, Dad, I had to leave the village because I murdered all the kids and nobody wants me there anymore.
I sincerely not. But you have fun with your fantasies there.
Vikings.
Point. That I don't have a counterpoint for.
Of course you don't.
So, that was pretty much Vinland Saga this week. Oh no, and it showed like... There's this other scene where like these other Viking guys are just torturing this priest for no fucking reason.
Oh yeah, they're playing pin the battle axe on the priest.
That's the way to put it. And the guy who went to go recruit Thors is now recruiting another guy to go kill Thors.
Meanwhile, his men are playing the battle axe game with the priest, and he's like, yeah, we just don't like Christians here.
Like the two lines that made me laugh in a morose way. I admit this is completely wrong, but it's just the way that they said it made me laugh. First time he's like, "All right, priest guy, I'm gonna throw this, and if you dodge, I'll fucking kill you." And then he throws it. "You dodge, I'm gonna kill you." And then
how did he dodge? He was fucking tied up to a stake.
And then while while Squarehead is having his conversation with the leader of the band, you see the little subtitle at the bottom. You see some guy went, "How many points is it if I get it in the leg?"
Yeah, they're taking great delight in torturing this guy.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's supposed to be a scene where you're like, oh, ooh, it's uncomfortable, oh. But then they say lines like that. It's like, oh, come on. Jesus.
I like this show.
I do. Like I said, I mean, it is definitely a contender for anime of the season for me so far.
So I'm assuming in the next episode this dude kills Thors, and then Thorfinn is like, I have to get my revengeance on this guy.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think Thors is going to die.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely 100%. And the show's going to then shift to Thorfinn going on this adventure that like spans years and shows him growing up and like becoming a better and better fighter to get his revenge on the people who killed his dad.
Exactly.
I think that's what we're going to see here in the future. That's my prediction. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We're going to see a bloodbath.
Oh, we're definitely going to see that. We're going to see plenty of bloodbaths. I'm pretty sure. But we'll see. And with that was Vinland Saga. Any final thoughts?
Yes.
Okay, what are they?
Yes.
All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get the hell on out of here. And that was week 2 of summer 2019. The animes are continuing to get better, which is awesome, because with the exception of How Heavy Are Your Dumbbells, which I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't really like from the start, but it's watchable. I have a feeling you're getting something out of it, so...
Everybody's getting something out of it.
Everyone is
watching it for the wrong reasons. The educational part is not the part you need to watch.
Yeah, but I don't get into fan service. It's not for me. I don't care about fan service.
Okay, whatever.
But hey, like I said, not everything's for me. Not everything is for everyone.
Yeah, not everything is for everyone.
So I fully accept that. Yeah, but do you like? Because I think the other 4 shows we watched, I thoroughly enjoyed, and they get better every week. So I'm going to ask you with Dumbbells, how do you feel it's progressing?
I feel it's progressing
in a positive manner or like a neutral.
I'm kind of neutral right now because of some things we mentioned.
Yeah.
That just don't make sense to us.
Yeah.
As it's being portrayed more realistically, or is supposed to be portrayed realistically.
Yeah.
With sprinklings of comedy and a deluge of fan service.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I think that the MILF Isekai is going to kind of take that same direction, but at the same time, it's funnier and more interesting. Yes,
I will give that. So we'll see what happens. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, you have any comments about anything we've said or the anime we watched this week, Please leave it in the comments below. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, take care. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.